I did an amazing reading today, so I feel like I really need to share it. I couldn't plan this stuff better. So I ask about January 19th, that day in particular. I pictured that day on the calendar, that date really clear in my mind. That's all I want to know about that rally that is scheduled to take place. And so as a situation card, I pulled this one, the Four of Wands, which is a celebration. This is a we did it, we are the victory, we did it card, right? It is a victory celebration is the name of it. Notice that she's inside the ring of fire. So I think that's significant later in the card reading because most of the cards were swords, which are fire. What crosses that victory was this card. This card is a hollow victory. It's, yeah, that's exactly what the word said when I looked it in the book. To just get a quick read on it is a hollow victory. Take what you will from that. At the basis of this, the undercurrents, the very base of it is this, the fear and betrayal card. Right? Another sword card. Most recent past is another sword card, the Two, which is kind of trying to decide which side to take, and she's not unhappy, you can see. She's going forward, but she's kind of blind. She's not really, doesn't really know what she's doing. That's most recent. What's crowning the whole reading is, and very conscious, is this forward running to success, regardless of what the outcome or regardless of what the circumstances might be or what might happen. It's actually done a little bit too quickly, right? It's moving forward without thought to who you might step on, really. That is what crowns the whole thing. The next turn of events was what really piqued my interest because I pulled this, the victory, the celebration card. You can see it's another wand card. They're celebrating. Here's what I noticed though. I noticed that they were outside the tent or arena. These were people celebrating on the outside. And I thought, I'm going to explore that further. And so I pulled a clarifying card out of my myth deck, or Mythical Heroes deck, and I pulled this healing card. So I'm like, all right, so it means a healing. That's cool. I like to hear that. So all in all, maybe this whole victory thing that's going to happen will somehow bring about a healing. I like that. It was a good card. So in the thoughts and feelings about it of the people who were involved in putting on the party, we have this, the Chariot. The Chariot, too, is another thing very similar to that night, moving forward really quickly, where we know exactly what we're going to do. We've got a plan. We're going for it. We're moving forward. This is us. Look at us, right? But on the outside, you could say the atmosphere that this is all happening in, and looking in from the outside, others see it as karmic. That wheel of fortune. What goes around always comes around, right? Hopes and fears. And remember, I'm looking at the victory party. The Nine of Wands, which is really standing in defense of our ideas. We know what we believe. We're here for it, right? We're going to defend our place, our ideas, our state of mind. Then the final outcome card, interestingly, was the Fool reversed. So the Fool, for me, basically represents somebody who's totally trusting. It's like, you know what? We are going for this. We're going to do this. We don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, just put us in, right? But it's reversed. So that made me think, maybe, what about trust, right? This is somebody who's totally trusting. So I decided to do a spread that came out of my Light Seers book it suggests certain spreads to further understand a one of the major arcana. So I wanted to do that, and so I did a reveal, a sort of a revealing piece on that. And so the first card in that reveal, let's call it a clarification. The first card that clarifies is you have to decide, who does this represent exactly, right? To get a clearer reading on this trust. So I decided I would make this person, the Fool, the person whose party it is, right? You know, the guy, the orange guy. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make that this person, and I'm going to find out a little bit about this person. So in this spread, this is the first card. This person that I've decided is the giver of this party and the winner of this victory. So the next card is to ask, what wisdom will this person need to bring? Where do they need to, where have they placed their trust? Where do they need to trust, right? So this is about where they put their trust. And I got this card, Revenge. So I went, whoa. So I read the myth on this Medea. Medea was her name. And the story about Medea is that she fell in love with Jason, the Argonaut. So she made a deal where he had to marry her. And then they bore 2 children together. But after a while, Jason grew tired of her, and he left her for a new bride. And she was pretty angry about this. So she decided to exact her revenge. So what she did was she left a gift for the bride. And the gift was a beautiful gown that the bride really wanted to wear. So she put it on, and as soon as she put it on, it burst into flames because it was an enchanted dress, right? And not only did the bride perish, but everybody at the wedding party, everybody there perished, right, in flames. Except Jason. It didn't do a thing for him. Instead, she gave Jason a different wedding gift. She gave him a basket, and when he opened it, it was all of the dismembered parts of their 2 sons. So she basically murdered her own children just to get revenge upon her ex, right? So this is wherever the giver of this party has placed his trust, okay? Whew, I was like, whoa, okay. So the next card in this whole story is to be placed upside down. It specifically says, place this in reverse, because these are the lessons this person needed to learn. And at first I didn't see that it was supposed to be in reverse until I went back, because I did think it was odd. But here's what came up in reverse: service. So this is Aristeus. I may not be saying that correctly, but I didn't need to read the entire myth of this guy to know that he was a king. He was a king who was very, very generous, and really what he cared about was service to his people. But this card was upside down, and this is the lesson that this fool needs to learn, right? Maybe service to self is not the way to go. So, wow. So for the last card that I pulled is, where is this person headed? So I pulled this, I couldn't make this up. This card. And this is Sisyphus. So here's Sisyphus' story. Oh, it blew me away. I almost want to read it, but it's kind of long, so I'm going to try to summarize it. So Sisyphus was a real jerk. He did a lot of really slimy things. And every time he did something wrong, he was sent to the underworld and he escaped. So he never really received punishment for any of his wrongdoing, as he kept escaping. There's a lot more to it, and I encourage you to read his story because it was mind-blowing for me. But to summarize, what happens in the end is that Hades gets a little bit sick of it, and he's pissed off that the guy got away with so much. So he challenges him and says, okay, here's the thing. If you can roll this boulder to the top of that hill, you're free to go. And all of your past, we'll just erase it. We'll just forget it. You're free to go if you can do that. So he tries and he tries, but it slips from his grip and it rolls to the bottom. So he loses his battle. And as it turns out, that rock was enchanted and he was never, ever going to win. That is the Where You're Headed card. Take that as you will.